In the Battle of Majadahonda on the 11th of August 1812, a British-Portuguese cavalry force under Brigadier General Benjamin D'Urban fought a French cavalry division led by General of Division, and François-Charles Tréliard. The French scored an initial success by routing a Portuguese cavalry brigade and seizing 3 artillery pieces. Later, the French withdrew when reinforcements arrived in this Peninsular War action. Majadahonda is located 16 kilometers and Las Rosas is 17 kilometers northwest of Madrid. Battle. After General Arthur Wellesley, 1st Duke of Wellington's great victory at the Battle of Salamanca, the Anglo-Portuguese army moved on Madrid from the northwest. On the 11th of August, the 1st, 11th and 12th Dragoons of D'Urban's Portuguese brigade formed Wellington's advanced guard. Behind them was Bock's brigade under Colonel de Jonquières, consisting of the 1st and 2nd King's German Legion Dragoons. Farther back in the column, Colonel Colin Halkett led the 1st and 2nd KGL Light Infantry battalions, plus 7 companies of the Brunswick OEL's battalion. D'Urban's troopers were surprised by Tréliard's division, which included the 13th, 18th, 19th and 22nd Dragoons, plus the Westphalian Chevaulegers and the Italian Napoleon Dragoons. The Portuguese horsemen were routed and 3 cannons were lost. A frustrated D'Urban wrote of his troopers, "At Salamanca they followed me into the enemy's ranks like British dragoons. Yesterday they were so far from doing their duty that in the first charge they just went far enough to land me in the enemy's ranks. In the second, which I rashly attempted, I could not get them within 20 yards of the enemy. They left me alone, and vanished before the French helmets like clubs before the autumn wind." Bock's heavy dragoons soon arrived and the Portuguese horsemen rallied behind them. With the help of the 1st KGL Light Infantry Battalion, the combined British-Portuguese force managed to halt the French advance. Tréliard withdrew after hearing of additional Allied reinforcements. The next morning the Allies entered Majadahonda and discovered the lost cannons. Result. All told, 2,300 British-Portuguese troops were engaged against about 2,000 Frenchmen. Tréliard lost about 200 casualties, compared to 176 British-Portuguese losses. Bock lost 14 killed, 40 wounded and 7 captured. D'Urban reported 33 killed, 52 wounded and 23 captured. The KGL infantry had 7 men wounded. Tréliard's report of the battle led to King Joseph Bonaparte's hasty withdrawal from Madrid the next day. The next action was the siege of Burgos. The British-Portuguese advance guard was severely mauled at Majadahonda. In less than an hour, they lost 200 men killed and wounded, 3 guns captured, while one of their 2 brigade commanders and 2 of their 5 regimental commanders were made prisoners. The French abandoned the 3 guns after burning the carriages. French casualties were probably half that, with 1 officer killed and 15 wounded, including Colonel Reset. The KGL Dragoons covered themselves with glory, while the Portuguese dishonored themselves in the eyes of the army. Their performance at Majadahonda erased the laurels they had won at Salamanca. I have ordered that they should not again mount a horse or wear a sword till they may, by coming near the enemy, have an opportunity of redeeming their credit. Till then, hanging their swords on their saddles, they lead their horses, marching themselves. The Portuguese have a good deal of feeling and pride, and it is the only way to work on them. Wellington, however, thought differently. As for sending the cavalry to the rear, that is impossible at the present. We have still a good deal upon our hands, and we are worse provided with cavalry than our neighbours, and a body commanded by such a man as D'Urban, even though they will not fight, are better than none.